along to the transfer show. Bringing in a striker has been a primary focus for Arsenal this summer. We'll take a look at what fee it could take to get the deal done.
Arsenal fans are still waiting for an announcement on the deal to sign Viktor Gyokeres from Sporting Lisbon. Let's get the latest and speak to the Portuguese football journalist David Novo, who works for The Record. Hello, David. The last time we spoke to you, you told us they were close to finalising a deal. What's the hold-up?
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I said that, and I say the same thing. They are close, really close to make the deal. That's the thing. It's a small margin of 2.5 million euros in one of the bonuses. That's it's almost nothing when we are talking about a deal of 80 million euros, but it's enough to keep the clubs apart, to close this deal. It's a strange thing to say, because every day here in Portugal we keep asking to our sources in Sporting, our sources close to the players' agents, and there is a lot of information. I can give you an example. Just by today early morning, we started to have some messages in our WhatsApp group at Record Portugal with some journalists. Early morning, some information saying that the deal was closed, and then like 1 hour after that we had information that the deal is still not closed. So a lot of information, a lot of back and forth with this situation. Strange thing, just why the deal is not closed yet when we are talking about, like I said, 2.5 million euros in a transfer fee of 80 million euros. But that's the point right now. But we have the feeling here in Portugal that the deal is going to happen, but day by day, and the information is still the same.
Yep, we have to wait and see. Now, the Sporting chief was very forthright in suggesting that if the player didn't return to training, he would be fined. Is Gyokeres back in training yet?
No, he's not back in training, and he doesn't want to go back to training. Sporting is training in Algarve, the south of Portugal. They are playing friendly games already in the preseason, and no sign of Gyokeres, and he doesn't want to return. He's still, the information that we have, we believe that he's still in Sweden, waiting for the green light so that he can travel to London first. The expectation was to close the deal so that Gyokeres could travel with Arsenal. I think that tomorrow they are going to the preseason in Asia. That's the timing they had now to close the deal. But unless things can be done today, maybe. But of course, I think that Arsenal wants to have the player as soon as possible. But even if they get Gyokeres, I think they need Gyokeres to the Premier League and to start the Premier League. If Gyokeres misses the preseason, of course, it's not the perfect scenario. But I think that's the most important thing is to sign the player they want, and to sign the player that wants to play for Arsenal. It seems so simple, speaking in these terms. I know the player wants to play for Arsenal. Arsenal wants to sign the player. It seems so simple, but it's not that simple. And we are seeing that things are complicated so far. But like I said, we have the feeling here in Portugal that the deal is going to happen.
Would it be fair to say that this saga and the way that it's dragging on, perhaps the way that Viktor Gyokeres has been acting, means he's lost his legend status in the green half of Lisbon?
Well, a good question. I think that Gyokeres is going to be remembered as one of the best players that played for Sporting. The impact that he had in Portugal is huge. The goals he scored, the key player he was for Sporting, of course. But if you ask to a Sporting fan right now, they are, I think, a lot of them are backing up the president and against the player, because, of course, I think that everyone has the right to, and Gyokeres has the right to play for Arsenal. He has the right to have his dream to play in the Premier League. We all respect that here in Portugal, the fans, the press. But the way he's dealing things by missing training when he has a contract, he has his wages on time, he's cherished by the fans. And when you have that status and you miss training and you push and you put pressure on the deal through his agents, we believe, of course, I think he's going to leave for a small door, and he could leave as a legend. Of course, as the Sporting side, no one will, of course, put that in perspective or will ever criticize that. But the way he's behaving as a person, of course, it will be a sad end for a great player that played in Portugal.
Yeah, they're clearly unhappy. If we could see that banner again that the fans held up, if you could just translate it. My Portuguese is not great, but ninguém está acima dos intereses do clube. What does that mean?
No one is above the interests of the club. So no one is above the club. The club is the most important thing. Players go and they play and they leave. You can have a player, even if it's the best player they have, or one of the best players that they had in the last years, and he is. But this banner from Sporting fans is really clear. Sporting is way more important than any player. And like I said, a lot of fans, I think the majority, backing up the presidents and backing the club and the way they are behaving in this deal, being stick to what they want, the fee they want, and of course going against the player for everything he's doing in this situation.
Yeah, David, one-word answer. If we speak 1 week today, next Friday, will Viktor Gyokeres be an Arsenal player?
Well,
one word.
I think so, but I really don't know. I think that I believe it's going to happen. But you can invite me again. I will be here, and I can say what's happening in the deal. So we can have that deal if you want.